आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. And there's been one feeling that every case of corruption against the Gandhi Vadra family goes on for far too long, that it goes on interminably, and the government gives them a very, 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 very long rope. I hope that's not going to be the case in the future, because I was watching the final comments of Additional Solicitor General, the very sharp S.V. Raju in the National Herald money laundering case, the huge case of money laundering, which was carried out by Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi in conjunction with other Gandhi Vadra family retainers. And S.V. Raju said that this is an open and shut case. And he said that Young Indian was used for the purpose of usurping properties worth almost 2,000 crores of Associated Journals Limited. And that's our case. It's documented. It's an open and shut case. And I agree with him, because if these people get away with that, then all corruption should be legalized in this country. If these people get away with that, making so much money, ladies and gentlemen, putting in 50 lakhs and getting 2,000 crores of assets and real estate in return, if these people get away with that, and we allow them to get away with that, then we must recognize that all scams will be considered to be legal in our country. And I'm sure the courts of our country will keep this matter into account, because this is a question of setting an example for the country. Now, they made a 3,99,900% gain in capital on investment. And that is what I call a four-letter word in English called SCAM, scam. Look at these numbers roll before your eyes and consider the incredible nature of the scam. A nature of a scam that even the greatest scam masters in the world would look at and be surprised that anyone thought they could get away with that. Ladies and gentlemen, not even a leader of an Italian mafia operation could have planned something as intricate as that. So this is terrible. Now, viewers, this case has gone on for far too long. This case has gone on since in 2013, Subramaniam Swamy, then with the BJP, filed a petition that led to a trial court allowing the Income Tax Department to investigate National Herald's finances and assess Sonia and Rahul Gandhi. Remember, the complaint was during the Congress party time. The initial investigation during the Congress party time, so Sonia and Rahul, you have no reason to complain. If this is a scam, you should be out of politics. It is an open and shut case, I agree, because Young Indian Private Limited, 76% owned by Sonia and Rahul Gandhi, took over AJL for 50 lakh rupees, gaining control of assets of 2,000 crores. Now, if either of them can prove that they didn't make that money, I'll take my words back, otherwise they should be in prison. One day after the AJL takeover, Sonia Gandhi, the late Motilal Vora and Oscar Fernandez were appointed as Young Indian directors. Were they or were they not appointed? Did they or did they not get 1,900 shares, 38% each, and Vora and Fernandez got 600 shares, 12% each? And why has no member of the late Motilal Vora's family ever come after that and claimed those shares? Because they know if they want to claim those shares, they're going to be under investigation too. That is what proves that this is indeed a four-letter word in caps, SCAM, scam. Ladies and gentlemen, what happens to Sonia and Rahul if they are convicted? Let me begin by saying that this is a very real possibility. If convicted, they could be in prison on charges like criminal breach of trust, cheating, money laundering. They could be in jail from a few years to a decade. This will restrict their political activity. their public appearances. This will disqualify them from Parliament under Section 8 of the Representation of People's Act, because a conviction with a sentence of more than 2 years leads to immediate disqualification. And a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that when the sleeve rolling Rahul Gandhi was about to enter politics, he tore a bill once challenging this very provision, and he said, if any politician is found guilty of corruption, he or she must be disqualified. Now, Rahul Gandhi, you face your karma. You face your karma, Rahul Gandhi, because if you're convicted, you're going to be disqualified, which means the Gandhi dynasty, the Vadra Gandhi dynasty, will be officially linked to corruption. Of course, there will be bail appeals, prolonged appeals, but the optics of a conviction, even without jail, will damage their public appearance, their political credibility, their ability to fight elections. Ladies and gentlemen, it will also trigger operational crisis within the Congress party ecosystem. But beyond that, let me wrap up by saying, why not? If any of you had carried out a scam like this, this would not have gone on for 12 years. This has gone on for 12 years. And now the people of India want the 4-letter word, SCAM, responded to with a 7-letter word, JUSTICE. We want justice. They must face justice too. I'm sure they will. Let's debate.
The walls are closing in on Sonia and Rahul Gandhi as the Enforcement Directorate completed its oral submissions in Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court today in the National Herald scam. After Sonia and Rahul Gandhi were named as accused number 1 and accused number 2 in the Enforcement Directorate charge sheet, over the last 2 days, the ED has solidified its case with arguments by AJL'S Raju, showing how assets worth more than 2,000 crore rupees of Associated Journals Limited were taken over by Young India, a new company with Gandhis as their majority shareholders, against a consideration of 90 crore rupees bogus loan from the AICC. The Enforcement Directorate submitted in the court that an entire conspiracy was created to form a company called Young Indian to usurp and siphon 2,000 crore rupees assets of AJL to another face of Congress under the direct shareholding structure controlled by the Gandhis. According to AJL'S Raju, who is arguing on behalf of the Enforcement Directorate, it is an open and shut case.
I've completed my arguments subject to my rejoinder. The other side was to argue at 2:30. But it was inconvenient, so they've asked them till tomorrow, which the court has agreed. I made out a case that it's an absolutely fabulous case as far as taking of cognizance is concerned. It's an open and shut case. Young Indian was used for the purpose of usurping properties worth almost 2,000 crores of AGM. That's our case. And it's documented. It's an open and shut case.
The Congress, however, is completely defiant and stands in defense of the Gandhi family.
सेक्शन 25 की कंपनी का मतलब होता है नॉट फॉर प्रॉफिट कंपनी। नॉट फॉर प्रॉफिट कंपनी का कोई भी डायरेक्टर, कोई भी शेयर होल्डर ना एक नए पैसे का प्रॉफिट पा सकता है, ना डिविडेंड मिलता है, ना उसको कोई सैलरी मिल सकती है। कि ये 11-12 साल से केस सिर्फ इसलिए चलाया जा रहा है, ये झुंझुना इसलिए बजाया जा रहा है जिससे लोगों की रेपुटेशंस को ख़त्म किया जा सके, उनको धूमिल किया जा सके। लेकिन सच जो है वो सामने आएगा। एक नॉट फॉर प्रॉफिट कंपनी है, दूसरी एक्विजिशन नहीं हुआ है। यंग इंडिया जो है वो सिर्फ AJL का शेयर होल्डर बना है।
The question remains, is it time for Sonia and Rahul Gandhi to face the law?
I just heard a very stupid argument. I'm appalled. She said, Young acquisition का young Indians का Nalin. She said, Young Indian का acquisition नहीं हुआ है, सिर्फ shares दिए गए। Acquisition happens when you get over the shares. What logic is this? They have run out of any logic now because they are going to lose this case. Nalin, Where do you think this case stands now? And would you like to respond to that ridiculous argument put by the Congress spokesperson?
No, I think, Arnab, good evening, and good evening to all your viewers and the fellow panelists. It is clear that the Congress party and its spokespersons have no cogent ground to explain what is inexplicable. The fact of the matter is that basically the Congress party is a political party. It is not registered as a company. It is not registered as a bank. It is registered under the Representation of People's Act as a political entity. As a political entity, it enjoys certain privileges like getting donations from the people of India, its members, as others, for political work. It is not again in the business of lending out money as a bank, or it is not in the business of basically acquiring entities directly or indirectly using its funds. Now, the Congress party's top leadership, which is the Nehru-Gandhi family, after all, it is a family-centric party, and they are entitled to be a family-centric party. That's their model. The first family of the Congress party, with their closest confidants, decide to take over a company. Which company? Basically, the Associated Journal Press. This is the company that owns a newspaper. Maybe there is a maybe there is a historical connection between Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. It is related to the independence movement. But the fact of the matter is, why did the Congress party in the first place loan money to AJL? Second, why does AJL, which holds buildings, offices, assets in various cities across the country, why is that 90 crores loan given by the Congress party to AJL written off for a 50 lakh amount by the shareholders of Young Indians, which is Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, Mr. Rahul Gandhi and their close confidants? And in effect, with this share transfer in 50 lakhs, Young Indians gets control over the assets. That's the crux of the case. And it is that particular case that finally they have to answer for. To come up with an argument to say that we have only transferred shares is not an argument. It is shareholding that a company is owned or it is handed over to somebody else. So this is no argument. This is an argument to somehow deflect. It's an argument to confuse. It is an argument to say that we have an argument when in reality it is no argument.
Yeah, it's a terrible case. It's the scam of the century. It's a scam of the century. It's a scam of the year. It's a scam of the decade. It comes under section 403, 406, 420, 120B of the Indian Penal Code. Ladies and gentlemen, fact is that what Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi have done, Pankaj, is money laundering, acquisition, concealment, fraudulent intent, sham company, deliberate undervaluation, strategic takeover. There is evidence from searches and seizures. There is a provisional attachment of assets. And it was all being done using taxpayer money. Now, this is a very serious charge. I personally believe, Pankaj, that it would be in the interests of the Gandhi Vadra family to simply end the arguments and plead guilty. There has to be, to plead guilty, because if they don't plead guilty and they get convicted, you see, Deepak, they plead guilty, they will have some sympathy, they will say that this was done on the advice of some of our advisors, we took the wrong decision, we went along with it. But if they try to behave innocent, then I think it's going to be zero, big fat zero for them at the end of this, Pankaj. It's going to come down to a very big reprisal from the people of India. People are calling tonight. Yes, I'm opening lines. Pankaj.
See, I don't blame you, Mr. Goswami. I understand your compulsions. You are duty-bound to make huge noise on National Herald issue. Entire nation knows that National Herald is your fixation, your phobia. You did your education in sociology, social anthropology. So you might not understand the legalities in this case, but Mr. Nalin Kohli is a Supreme Court lawyer. He would understand better. You also know, Nalin Kohli ji also know, but there is not even the slightest...
Now, why are you people obsessed with me? Why don't you argue on the subject? You see, I'll tell you one thing. Listen to me. You are handling the wrong guy. You people, you Congress people are obsessed with me. You had a press conference in which 7 of your leaders came out and they said, right, for this reason, that reason, Arnab should be in jail. Immediately, as soon as you gave your press conference, Pakistan came out and said, the same thing. So I obviously feel why does Pakistan and Congress party speak in the same way? You put me in jail for 14 days. You put me in jail for 14 days. What happened? I came out stronger. My advice to you is take a chill pill, a chill pill. Take a chill pill on me, sir. Answer the question. People know me. People know Rahul Gandhi. People know what happened when Rahul Gandhi got an opportunity to face me. Don't force me to remind you of which one side was reduced to intellectual pulp in that debate. Don't say that. Don't make me open my mouth. Viewers, you remember this. That's why this party, for them, I am unforgettable. I am unforgettable. I am unforgettable for the Congress party because whenever they see my face, they remember the face of Rahul Gandhi when he was facing me.
Mr. Goswami, let this state
I'm a tough nut. Water over duck's back. Answer my question. Idhar-udhar ki baat mat kariye aap.
आप भी मत करिए. You tell me one thing.
मेरे बारे में मत बोलिए. जो स्कैम है इसके बारे में नलिन कोहली को बोलिए. जवाब दीजिए. और जवाब नहीं है तो बताए नहीं है. मैंने क्या स्कूल में पढ़ाई की, किस ग्रेजुएशन की, किस साल में की, मेरे पे इतनी इंटरेस्ट है तो मैं क्या करूं. आप मुद्दे पे आइए. मुद्दे पे आइए. मुद्दे पे आइए. मुद्दे. Come on the mudda. Come on the mudda. Come to the mudda. What is the central point? Come on the mudda.
Yes,
come on the mudda. What is the mudda? Mudde pe aao.
Central point is that the fact is that this is for the first time a money laundering case has been made without any transfer of money. Not a single penny moved. And still a money laundering case was built. It was made on the basis of property. Again, not even a single property is transferred. No movement whatsoever of any property. How did this story emerge? It is important that you understand it. If you give me 5-10 minutes, I'll explain. Because you are deliberately misguiding the nation on this issue whenever you get an opportunity.
Why should I misguide?
So I want you to understand this issue so that through you, the nation understands it. But you will never do it because it all meant only to deviate, divert, and distract. And we all know why. Because questions like unemployment are hard to answer, falling GDP is hard to answer, growing social unrest is hard to answer. So you have to discuss all these things. It was not such a huge example of political vendetta. It would be legally laughable. Nalin Kohli ji will endorse my point. But it is not a political vendetta. It is legally laughable case. It is among the 7 wonders of the legal world, Mr. Kohli. Isn't it?
Now, before that, I'll tell you one thing before Nalin Kohli talks about the 7 wonders of the world. And one of the 7 wonders of the world is a Congress party high command because nobody knows what it is. You see, Mallikarjun Kharge keeps looking at the air and saying, high command, high command. Arey Baba, he's Congress president. He keeps saying, high command will decide. What is this? Nalin Kohli is responding. Nalin Kohli.
So first of all, let's clear a few doubts. The Prevention of Money Laundering Act essentially deals with the question of proceeds of crime. Now, the proceeds of crime essentially deal with either it in the form of money or in a property. The basic question is not to say that, look, where did money transfer? This was not a bank transaction. The transfer in terms is of the asset. Assets worth what is estimated to be 2,000 crores. 2 young Indians owned by the Nehru Gandhi family and their core of very, very close associates for a sum of 50 lakhs.
Yeah.
Now let me ask it in a different way. If they were so interested in the National Herald newspaper or his assets and wanted its betterments, another way out was to say that this company should be auctioned off so that the best person who can run a newspaper will do so. Let the assets be returned back if they are taken on leases from the government, or let them be sold in the open market. And whoever are those shareholders, they will benefit or decide to do what's the next step. How is Young Indians, maybe a not-for-profit company, that is only the nature of a company, but how is a company, a privately closely held entity, that too by the Nehru Gandhi family, an expertise in publishing, an expertise in taking over bad loans? Whose bad loans? Congress party's bad loans. How are they concerned with it? Are they a non-banking? Are they a NBFC?
Wonderful windows.
Are they a bank? Have they taken an? Is that what their job is?
Saying on this.
Then none of it. So therefore, in all of it, this is not the seven wonders in terms of a case. This is a case that's questionable, in which obviously the Enforcement Directorate has made a case, has taken it to the court, and it does not change the nature of the investigative proceedings or the proceedings before the court in terms of the merits that have to be answered. Pankaj can, of course, make a political point. He can attack you personally. He can attack me personally, Mr. Goswami. But that does not change that they will have to answer these very questions.
I think we are on a very strong
court of law.
case
As
now.
also, why were the Congress governments forced to give ads to the National?
I'll come to that. I'll come to that. I want to address two specific
at
points.
higher prices.
Yeah, I want to address two specific points out here. And, you know, it is natural here that the victim card is going to be played by the Congress party. Now, first point is what they've said is that PMLA, no money transfer. Now, that's a literal understanding of the word money laundering, because under the PMLA, and Anmol will know this, he's a lawyer, money laundering involves any process or activity connected with the proceeds of crime, including concealment, possession, acquisition or use, to project it as an untainted property. This is section 3 of the PMLA, as clear as that. Acquisition, as per ED, Young Indian, controlled by Sonia and Rahul, 76% shareholders, acquire AJL's shares and therefore its underlying assets through the fraudulent scheme. Most importantly, they are therefore converting a public company's assets to private control. There can be no legal explanation for that. You are converting a public company's assets into private control. Concealment, Anmol. Scheme uses complex transactions such as the consignment or assignment of a 90.21 crore loan for 50 lakh and the issuance of shares to mask the true value and ownerships of AJL's assets. Any court will see through this easily. Now you can make your point. Sir, Anmol.
Good evening, Arnabji. Arnabji, this is a classic case of money laundering. It's an open and shut case. But despite mounting evidence, not a single arrest have been made in the last 10 years. The reason being that there's a covert and unethical alliance.
He's not. I'm just saying that your top band is not correct here right now, because you're not saying it's a witch hunt. You are saying why so long. Yeah, thank you. Please.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Because there's a covert and unethical alliance between the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party. In public, they act as sworn enemies, but in reality, they are modern-day Laila and Majnu of Indian politics. In public, they act as bitter rivals, fighting each other, accusing each other, abusing each other, mudslinging each other day and night. But behind this loud drama, there's a silent truth. There's a well-rehearsed script which both the parties are playing. Because if you look at this National Herald case, there's lots of evidence. And despite that, investigation has been going on since last 10 years. And shady ownership transfers, blatant misuse of funds, transfer of thousands and crores, but not a single arrest has been made. What's the reason behind this? अब तो देश की जनता भी जानना चाहती है कि रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है. Why is the Bharatiya Janata Party shielding?
Yeah, this is a very relevant question. This is a very relevant question, because in the Robert Vadra case, the whole country knows how the BJP called him Damashri, promised to bring justice the moment it was elected to power, but the whole promises evaporated like, impossibly. In this case also, the case has gone on for over 10 years, no movement.
Arnabji, when you contrast this with the relentless crackdowns on the Aam Aadmi Party leaders in the fake liquor scam, wherein the Honorable Supreme Court has wrapped the Enforcement Directorate, CBI and the Bharatiya Janata Party time and again.
So do you feel, Deepak, you're from the TDP, big BJP ally, do you believe BJP gave Congress too long a rope?
Arnab, before I come to that, let me tell you, this is absolutely a straightforward case of fraud and theft. But what's surprising is some of the Congress members, in spite of knowing the facts, they're trying to defend it, although they're making a fool of themselves in front of the people of India on national TV. Absolutely, this is a glaring example that after so many scams being done by the Congress party, they have become complacent, and that negligence has actually spilled the beans in this case. A couple of straightforward questions I would like to ask. In 1937, 5,000 freedom fighters have started this as part of the independent movement with a noble cause. Why did the Congress party hijack this? for their personal benefit? And why was a 90 crore loan given to a private limited company? And then a new company gets incorporated in 2010 with just with 76% share to Rahul ji and Sonia ji and others also, Congress leaders. So basically, it's a private limited company. And for 50 lakhs, they want to siphon off 2,000 crores. If they think it's not a mistake, I'll buy it for 50 lakhs. I mean, are they ready to give it? I mean, what is this ridiculous argument they're putting? I really don't understand. Yeah. And what's important is, how can a 90 crore loan given to AJL be converted into equity for young India? I mean, isn't it glaring? And how can they defend themselves here is what is really surprising. And one thing, the last point I would like to make is, Congress should also be made an accused in this. And the sham donations where they have received for that 90 crores should also be investigated. And it's about time. I mean, too much of rope has been given in this case, and quick justice should be delivered, and all these people should be put behind bars.
Okay, I just want to tell you that most mature companies in stable industries, FMCG, manufacturing, or traditional media, aim for single-digit growth. In recent years, this company has grown massively, and they've grown 54% in 1 year, which means Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi's company has grown faster than Ambani's, faster than Elon Musk, faster than Adani on a consolidated revenue year-on-year basis.
4 lakh percent. 4 lakh percent.
Oh God, these guys. But yeah, truly, but you didn't answer the question. Why did the BJP allow this to stretch for 11 years? Nalin, this is a big question, right?
Yeah. I think BJP...
Are you guys soft on the Gandhi Vadras?
I'll answer this as...
because some people say Rahul is the best. Rahul is the best.
No, I don't
because some people say Rahul is the best asset for the BJP, so they give him a long rope. And the second best asset is Robert Vadra, so you give him a long rope.
Yeah, but it's about time. I think justice should be delivered.
Of course, it's about time.
Let me put it in a different way. If I may just answer that.
Yep.
If I may just answer that.
Yes, Nalin.
Of course, I'm not going to get into any dispute with you, Arnab, in terms of who's an asset for whom. I'll leave that to the discussion
He is an asset for you. No doubt, Rahul's a big asset.
Let them arrive at that.
Rahul is your biggest asset.
However, what I would certainly point out is there are two things that come out. One, and I speak as a practicing advocate.
Akhil, put your 10 fingers down.
The process of law, no matter how much time it takes, has to be followed. It has to be followed.
But you are not giving me time.
So
you are not giving me
time. It does not interfere in that. It does not interfere. It does not interfere with that process at all. If the matter is in court, then it gets into the court. The BJP will only let the investigative agencies do their job, and the investigative agencies will do what is to be done in the court. However, things will become a little more fast-tracked in terms of the new provisions of the BNS, because those have got time limits, and as the Honorable Home Minister pointed out recently on 1 year of the new criminal code coming into practice, that many things will speed up. So one of the problems that has been in the criminal justice system has been a lot of time it takes for any kind of case to reach conclusion, because every opportunity that can be availed by a defendant or an accused is availed of. That's what the Congress party is doing, and that leads to the political point. If you are innocent, you don't delay a case. You want to be out of court ASAP. You want to say, this is my cogent answer, this is my best foot forward, this is my best defense, and your case is bogus, and I'm not going to waste time on applications or things like that. I'm going to straight away go out there and say, please, I want to be discharged as soon as possible, because I have a strong case in my favor. But on the other hand, if someone has a fear factor that I've taken a step that is not correct in law, that I've taken a step that is questionable in law, I've taken a step that can lead to a conviction, then you certainly start delaying it. So I think the shoe really is on the other foot. And the Congress party and its legal team would have to explain, why are they delaying this trial so much?
Because I'll tell you one thing, they know this is a big scam. And before I come to Akhil, I'll make a small point here. What is at the heart of a scam? You see, the hunger for money, the hunger for wealth, the hunger for capital, the hunger for land, the hunger for assets. This is what you call gobbling up assets. So at the heart of the scam, young Indian buys a massive loan at a 99.5% discount. Akhil will not get a 99.5% discount. But Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi got a 99.5% discount, setting the stage to gobble up AJL'S assets. And the nation wants to know, how is this even possible? Now, we have two choices tonight, because in the last few appearances, Nakil has never addressed a question. He goes for some personal remarks, some overall points, maybe because he doesn't know things in detail. Or maybe he is not literate enough to argue in terms of detail. So he makes an overall ulta-pulta overall point and then tries to get away with it, does a little bit of drama, he thinks it works, but it doesn't work. You see what happened in this case is, AJL holds its EGM in Lucknow, increasing its authorized share capital to 100.5 crores and allotting 90.21 crore shares, that's 99% of its authorized capital, to Young Indian in exchange for a loan, which means 2,000 crores of assets are now under Young Indians' control. This is the deal of the century. In 60 days of the incorporation of Young Indian, AJL, lock, stock and barrel, goes to them. Imagine this. Boom! Can you imagine something like this happening to you? Windfall. Windfall, Akhil Swami. Huh? Why was this done? In interest of socialism or secularism? Akhil, was this a socialist and secular deal?
You made certain personal remarks against me. I won't do that. But I would say, very clearly say, जब BJP फंसती है, नेशनल हेरल्ड को आगे करती है।
जनरल पॉइंट कर दिया। इनको आता ही नहीं है।
केस ऐसा आया है,
इनको आता ही नहीं है।
वो कंपनी जिसको राफेल का एसोसिएट बनाया गया, जिसको एविएशन के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता था, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने उसको फ्रॉड कंपनी डिक्लेयर कर दिया है। इसलिए अटेंशन को डाइवर्ट करने के लिए ये जो लश्कर नोएडा के स्टूडियोज हैं, इनको लगा दिया गया है।
See, this man is now coming here for comic relief. He has realized that the only reason he can be worthy on television is comic relief. So ये आपको 2 मिनट की comic relief देंगे।
अच्छा, बीजेपी की जो बी टीम है, जो अन्ना हजारे और आरएसएस की प्रोत्साहन से भ्रष्टाचार के झूठे आरोप लोग एक सरकार में आई थी, आज उनको भी सुन के बड़ी खुशी हुई। देखिए, आपको कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस की एक क्लास मुझसे ले लेनी चाहिए थी अर्नब, इस प्रोग्राम को करने से पहले। आपको ये कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस का और कॉर्पोरेट स्ट्रक्चरिंग का जरा से भी आइडिया नहीं है, इसलिए आप जो हैं कृपा करके ऐसे सब्जेक्ट पे बोलने से पहले एक फाइनेंस के प्रोफेसर मेरे जैसे आदमी
कहाँ के प्रोफेसर है, किस इंस्टीट्यूट के नाम बताइए? एवरीवन,
किसके नाम बताइए?
आपके इंस्टीट्यूट का नाम क्या है? आपकी किस यूनिवर्सिटी के प्रोफेसर हैं आप?
ये जो आपका स्पॉन्सर है ना इस प्रोग्राम के, उस यूनिवर्सिटी में 13 साल मैंने पढ़ाया है। जो इस
अभी कहाँ पे पढ़ा रहे हैं? अभी कहाँ पे पढ़ा रहे हैं?
अरे अब तो रिटायर्ड हूँ, लेकिन
आप रिटायर हो चुके हैं। अच्छा, गुड बाय, थैंक गॉड आप और स्टूडेंट्स को स्पॉइल नहीं कर रहे। एनीवे कंटिन्यू, चलिए आप एनीवे आई होप दैट योर आई होप अभी आप एनीवे कंटिन्यू ऑन द पॉइंट। कुछ पॉइंट है आपके पास? डू यू हैव अ सिंगल सीरियस पॉइंट और या आप सिर्फ कॉमिक रिलीफ देंगे?
किस आरोप में रहे मुझे नहीं पता, आज जान के खुशी हुई कि आप जेल रहे हैं। नहीं बताया कि आप जेल रहे हैं।
परिमल जी, आई डोंट थिंक इनके पास कोई पॉइंट है। परिमल जी, he has no point.
मुझे नहीं पता था आप जेल रहे हैं।
Parimal ji, he does not have a point. Parimal ji, please reply. Yeah.
You see.
Parimal Kumar is the JDU spokesperson joining us from Patna. Parimal ji.
Yes, the entire matter is associated with misappropriation of fund, illegal particularly usage of fund, and the entire episode indicates the intention of the Congress to usurp money of the Congress party itself, right? And the intention is to particularly grab the entire shareholding and property of National Herald. With Mr. Arnab, how it is possible that any particularly company who is having the loan of 90.25 crore, which was taken by Indian National Congress, without taking consent of every stakeholder or particularly top rankers of the Congress, right? They particularly taken particularly ownership of AJL'S, Associate Journal Association, and then particularly see. They raised the issue that 76% of the entire share is held by the Sonia Gandhi and his family. According to Security Contract Regulation Act 1956 and SEBI Act 1992, if any person or institution holds share more than 26% of the equity share, he becomes he holds the condition to particularly influence the entire policy decision of the company. So you see the Congress and the Rahul Gandhi family and Sonia Gandhi family is in commanding position, and the entire exercise conducted by them is intended to usurp the entire particularly property of National Herald and to divert the intention of the particularly general people. You see, this is the case of misappropriation.
Mission Fund. This is clear-cut violation of money laundering prohibition of money laundering, as you have already said. That
Anmol has a question, Parimal. Anmol.
Yes. Not only associate with the particular.
I would like to take Anmol back on the debate with Nalin, because Nalin, the question Anmol asked went unanswered. About the reason it went so long. He has a counter question now. Anmol.
I have another question. Nalinji said that the Congress party is delaying the investigation. I must remind him of the Aam Aadmi Party and its leader, who were first jailed and then questioned. Even the investigation was pending after 2 years, but our leaders were illegally put behind bars, and it was the Honorable Supreme Court which wrapped the investigative agencies, labeling them as caged parrots. तो नलिन जी आप बताइए कि 11 साल तक आपकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन पूरी नहीं हुई, क्यों आप गांधी फैमिली को बचा रहे हैं, क्यों राहुल गांधी जी को जेल में नहीं डाला, क्यों सोनिया गांधी जी को जेल में नहीं डाला, किस बात की शय दी जा रही है, ये नाजायज संबंध कांग्रेस और भाजपा के बीच में क्या है, ये रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है, ये देश जानना चाहता है।
एक उपन्यास लिखने में और एक फिल्म स्क्रिप्ट लिखने में कोई ज़्यादा मेहनत कई बार नहीं लगती है। आपने उसका प्रयास एक अच्छा किया अनमोल जी, क्योंकि आप जो कह रहे हैं वो भारतीय लोकतंत्र में एक नई बात है कि कांग्रेस और भाजपा के बीच में साठगांठ है। तो कई हो सकता है आपने कांग्रेस की परिभाषा मोदी जी के लिए सुना नहीं होगा पिछले 14-15 साल में, मतलब उससे पहले से भी बंदर, घाची, निपुंसक, हिटलर, गंदी नाड़ी का कीड़ा, ये सब प्यार की भाषा शायद आपको लगती होगी। दूसरी बात, कांग्रेस पार्टी और भाजपा हर रोज मीडिया में कई हमारे डिबेट्स होते हैं। मैं अपनी बात रख लूं। मैंने बहुत इत्मीनान से आपकी बात सुनी, उसके बाद आप जरूर उसके बाद इस चर्चा को आगे बढ़ाइएगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। दूसरी बात है, हर रोज कोई ऐसा दिन नहीं जाता जब कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ से वरिष्ठ प्रवक्ता जो है मोदी जी की सरकार, मोदी जी पर स्वयं भारतीय जनता पार्टी, उनके अलग अलग व्यक्तियों के ऊपर में कोई ना प्रकार की कोई ना अपशब्द की बात करते हैं या टिप्पणी करते हैं या राजनीतिक वार करते हैं, तो कोई सांठगांठ है ही नहीं, हो भी नहीं सकता है। पूरी लड़ाई जो भाजपा की शुरू हुई 2013 में, जो मोदी जी ने कहा है, वो है कांग्रेस की सोच के खिलाफ। कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत मतलब कांग्रेस की सोच जो थी उसको बदलना, उस सोच से परे हटके एक ऐसी सरकार लाना है जो सत्ता केंद्रित नहीं, सेवा केंद्रित हो। आज भी आप देख लीजिए, कर्नाटका में सत्ता और पद की लड़ाई चल रही है। इससे पहले हमने छत्तीसगढ़ में देखा, राजस्थान में देखा, हर जगह।
केसेस फ्रॉम 2013 से अभी तक, यू आर फाइलिंग अ प्रोसिक्यूशन कंप्लेंट नाउ। नो, नलिन कोहली, आई मस्ट टेक यू ऑन। नलिन कोहली, आई मस्ट टेक यू ऑन। 1 minute प्लीज, 1 minute। Nalin Kohli, 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. My question is to Nalin. Nalin, see, you are saying that it's an open and shut case. You are arguing strongly for it. SV Raju says, I have all the evidence. The only question the nation wants to know is, why is it that from 2013, it's only in April 2025, 12 years later, that you file a prosecution complaint against Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi and others? This has taken you 2 terms and 8 to 10 months, which means it has taken you 11 years in government to move to this point, right? And the prosecution complaint has only been filed by the Enforcement Directorate now. In these 11 years, the Enforcement Directorate has also reported to you. My question is, very simply, if you want me to be direct, I'll be direct and I'll put a question in just 6 words. Everyone on. Mr. Kohli, have you used this as a lever? या हिंदी में जो कहते हैं, एक केस जिसमें जितनी सच्चाई हो वो जेल जा सकते हैं, मगर आपने सिर्फ दबाव डालने के लिए इस केस को यूज किया है। अगर इस केस में
भी पूछ लीजिएगा नलिन जी से,
दबाव डालने का क्या है कारण?
1 मिनट,
हमें कुछ चाहिए थोड़ी ना कांग्रेस पार्टी से। What do we want? Do we want something from them?
आपको वीक ऑपोजिशन चाहिए, आपको एक वीक ऑपोजिशन चाहिए, आपको एक वीक ऑपोजिशन चाहिए, और वीक ऑपोजिशन जिस पर दबाव हो आपके लिए कन्वीनियंट होगा।
कौन सी कंपनी फ्रॉड कंपनी डिक्लेयर हुई है, जरा
आप अखिल जी क्या रनिंग कमेंट्री?
Opposition is weak or it's strong? No, I'll answer that. I'll answer it directly. An opposition is weak or strong based on how they do their political work, how they treat their cadre, What is the agenda they keep before the people? You don't need the help of the government. We have been in opposition more in our life. The Congress has been in power more than in our political history. I mean, Congress was in government for 55 years. The BJP came on 2 terms. If I rule out the 1977 Janata government, but basically 2 times. Now we are in government because of Prime Minister Modi and his leadership. So therefore, I don't buy that. And the second part is that the ED does not work under the government. It's a government agency that does its work independently. Now, therefore, the ED also, and I'm saying it as a lawyer that sees every day in courts what's happening and what's reported in the media, has unearthed a lot. It has caught a large number of people with 20 crores, 50 crores, and a Congress MP with 350 odd crores, which was the income tax, which is the largest ever seizure in independent India.
Sir, I wish to remind you, I'm placing on record my extreme disappointment over the fact that the Modi government was sworn in, if I'm not mistaken, on the 16th of May or 26th of May or somewhere around the second fortnight of May 2014. And if memory serves me right, then on the 26th of May 2014 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the Metropolitan Magistrate of the Patiala House Court found prima facie evidence of offences under section 403, 406, 420, 120B of the then Indian Penal Code. Now, I have followed these cases, and Mr. Kohli, I have some experience of this. It does not take so long. These sections, 420 and PMLA, are scheduled offences. This immediately triggered ED jurisdiction to investigate money laundering. Since 2014, 26th of June, 2 p.m. to now, when you are filing your prosecution complaint, Mr. Kohli, the nation wants to know this sincerely today. Why did it take you 11 years and 1 month to get to this point? 11 years.
Rahul Gandhi,
they won't even arrest for another 11 years because they are secretly helping each other and deceiving the people. No arrest, no charges have been framed and no trial in sight. And Kohli ji was saying कि हमारा तो उद्देश्य clear था, हम कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत चाहते हैं. By rolling out, Kohli ji, by rolling out red carpets for the Congress leaders, whom your own leader accused of from the ramparts of the Red Fort, उन लोगों के लिए लाल कालीन बिछा के हजारों करोड़ के भ्रष्टाचारियों के लिए आप जो है गालियां जिन्हें देते थे उन्हें अपनी पार्टी में शामिल करके, that is how you are trying to make a Congress मुक्त भारत. आपकी तो भाजपा में कांग्रेस के नेता भर गए.
Nalin Kohli must respond now on the verses. It's a hot fight tonight. 6 on the screen. 6 horizontal on the screen. Nalin is responding right now.
You are shielding the Gandhis. You don't want to arrest them. You only want to arrest.
You want to hear a response or don't want to?
Without any evidence.
You want to hear a response or don't want to? If you want to, let him.
इलेक्शन लड़ी थी. पार्लियामेंट का इलेक्शन आम आदमी पार्टी ही तो दिल्ली में लड़ी थी कांग्रेस के साथ. ये बी पार्टी जो बीजेपी की बी पार्टी है, अन्ना हजारे की पार्टी है, ये राहुल गांधी को सबक सिखाएगी.
You know, a fake issue has been created around a fake narrative, around a non-existent case.
All of these are theories based on nothing cogent, nothing substantive. Each one is a theory. One says we are the B team of the Congress. One says the Congress is a B team. One says the Congress and the BJP has an understanding. One says that the greatest virtue was the Aam Aadmi Party, which was Anna Hazare's party, and see what Mr. Kejriwal and his colleagues have done. So, I mean, I find it really interesting. This is a bunch of incongruous arguments being launched against the BJP because they have BJP otherwise.
Nalin, may I come in, please, if I may? The reason I'm asking you all these straight and direct and if you may find uncomfortable questions is because I believe that this is a big scam. When I spoke to Deepak, I said, this is a scam. Deepak has been in corporate life and he'll understand this well. Deepak, in this case...
buying or selling took place and it is a scam.
Let me explain, Pankaj, to you. You see the shell company game. Young Indians claims it got a 1 crore loan from a Kolkata-based shell company called Dotex Merchandise Private Limited, which it uses to pay AICC 50 lakhs for the loan assignment. Does this not smell like a money laundering move? Dubious loan from a shell company.
अंबानी पे एक डिस्कशन कर लीजिए, एक डेलिब्रेशन अंबानी और स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया पे कर लीजिए.
And the 90 crores dubious donations, what they have received, what do they have to say for that?
A dubious loan from a shell company.
Yeah.
Yes,
And how did they convert the
स्टेट
debt
बैंक ऑफ
into
इंडिया
equity?
अनिल अंबानी पे भी एक
What
केस
did
कर
they
एक डिस्कशन कर लीजिए.
Yeah. See,
the crux of the ED,
Arnab,
the crux of the ED case is
after the elections,
young Indians.
after the election,
Deepak and Pankaj, for a while, please. Thank you. Yeah, Deepak.
Arnab, after the elections, I was on one of your debates and I said this India ecosystem is not going to last more than 6 months. But now if you see the way some of the members of the India ecosystem don't even want to be associated with Congress, I mean, it clearly says that they're feeling embarrassed and the facts are absolutely clear. Yes, but there is some degree of truth to it that, after 11 years of BJP government, yes, people want more action. If you look at the number of A to Z scams, what the Congress has done in the past, and the sins of the past of Congress should be looked at more thoroughly and in a much more aggressive manner in the coming year or so. Yes, I do agree. People at the grassroots level are asking such questions.
Now, Pankaj, I think that once again I go to what happens if they get convicted? What happens? Pankaj, what happens if convicted? You know how serious that becomes. They can't fight elections. They will be immediately disqualified from parliament.
How can you convict anyone in a fake case? AJL is a
No, that is whether it's fake or not, court will decide,
it.
no? The court will decide. Nalin is on. Nalin. But that's for the court to decide. If the court decides, you can't even then blame the government.
It's a decades-old company and will
but that
be a
is
century old.
So if they are convicted, what happens?
And operated on an all-India level to promote a truthful set of values and messages.
If
commercial and economic basis, it did not succeed.
Pankaj.
By idealism.
Pankaj.
So over many years, AJL being an old company...
Pankaj, you are taking a very loyal Congress line and I appreciate you for that. The Vadra Gandhi family should appreciate you for that. But my question is, if they are convicted in this case, what happens? Nalin Kohli, tell us what will happen if they are convicted in this case.
Nalin Kohli ji knows that they cannot be convicted.
Conviction leads to, if anything, more than 2 years automatic disqualification. Let's not forget what happens with conviction. This is the famous, what is the outcome? Actually, you have to give credit to Rahul Gandhi ji. Because if you remember, in the good old days of Dr. Manmohan Singh's government, while he was traveling to the US, Mr. Rahul Gandhi had done that famous press conference where he tore what was an ordinance and threw it in the dustbin. That ordinance was to help one of the colleagues of the Congress party or one of their associates was Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav, if my memory serves me correct, his conviction to ensure that he would not be disqualified. But Mr. Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi tore it. Recently, about a year and a half ago, Rahul Gandhi got convicted by a court in a matter which was a 2-year thing. And that time then the Congress party made this huge hue and cry. So what automatically happens with a conviction is disqualification. And of course...
But they can get bail. Can they get arrested as well?
On the criminal side...
Can they also get arrested? On the criminal side, could they also get arrested? I mean, could the court... Is this a case for arrest in any case, pending bail or other such matters?
Well, there will have to be a ground for arrest before any arrest is done, because we are past, as I can make out what you have been reporting, we are past the stage of investigation per se. So custody in a trial situation is something that, I'm not very sure.
Okay, so even if they'll secure bail, they'll appeal this matter in a higher court,
like that.
And there is a legal cushion, therefore, that they have. They have a legal cushion. But despite the legal cushion, the fact is that they will be barred from fighting elections. Am I correct, Anmol? Are we moving towards that stage? Could that happen? Do you see this as a conceivable reality?
Absolutely. I mean, of course, that is, of course, subject to them appealing to the next court and the next court not suspending the sentence.
Arnab, this won't happen. I'm pretty sure about that, because the BJP is least interested in arresting the Gandhis. ये तो उन्हें संरक्षण देते हैं, इनका तो आपस में जो ये खेल चल रहा है, आज देश जानना चाहता है what stopped them from arresting the Gandhis for last 10 years. It's been more than a decade.
He's putting this to you again and again. I think you need to.
There can't be any excuse that the investigation needs to go on for years and years.
No, I'll give a straight, direct answer.
Go on for 10 years?
No, 1 minute. I'm sorry. I am sorry. These are two approaches. No, these are the approach. The approach that the gentleman is really putting about is what happens in a dictatorship or what happens under emergency, as Mrs. Indira Gandhi did. You can walk up and arrest anybody and put them in jail irrespective of the due legal process.
You don't have evidence against them?
That's not how due process of law.
Mr. Kohli, you don't have evidence
against them.
against
By the
them?
agency, not the government,
don't have
not the
evidence against
BJP.
them?
The BJP, I'm sorry, the BJP is not an investigating agency. The BJP is not the superintending authority over the enforcement directorate. The government does not give directions, and it is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy that runs on rule of law.
No, but
that
in the
leaves the
same
agency to decide the best course of action. So I'm sorry, your demand would be correct in a dictatorship, in an emergency, as Mrs. Gandhi had done, not in a functioning democracy with rule of law.
They are working at your behest. The agencies are working at your behest.
Again, you're making assumptions. You're making assumptions on what basis?
Even the highest court of our country said so. Even the highest court of our country said so.
Your assumption is the whole nation knows.
It's not an assumption, it's a reality, sir.
Your assumption can't be the whole nation knows. The whole nation knows how Prime Minister Modi's government is working. It elected him on 3 consecutive
Then why did you say that we'll arrest them?
In 3 different elections. The BJP has formed several things. And therefore, our agenda is to perform before the people of India. Give them not a single scam. Not a single scam.
In the National Herald Case?
Not a single scam. Not a single scam.
You keep raising the
not a
Anmol, you keep
Parimal. Compare it with the
actually, the Congress has no faith in the Constitution of India and judicial institution. The entire matter is sub judice, and whatever they are searching about delay now.
Okay.
So it is the
Anmol. Anmol, you must understand here how logical Nalin is being. Nalin says that this is probably past the stage of investigation, and therefore he says here that even if they are technically arrested, they will get bail because there is not much of a case for custody. He's being accurate here. You as a lawyer must support this accuracy. However, there will be bigger implications, you know that. He's pointing out about bigger political implications. Deepak, the point, therefore, is not whether they'll be in jail, but about the political implications of not being able to fight elections if convicted. That is what makes this case so important. Deepak.
They have shielded the Gandhis. They have not taken any action against them. They have not taken
any
action
against
them. And they...
2 versus 2.
Absolutely, that's the case.
Louder.
They have ensured
Deepak,
Gandhis
please,
don't
thank you.
face any jail time.
Yeah, Deepak.
Yeah, Arnab, Congress would not have a moral ground after this. You know, it's absolutely blatant and clear, and what they have done, and they have to answer to the people. But yes, I do subscribe to what the gentleman was saying. Not just this. I mean, if you dig into the past, A to Z of scams have been done by the Congress party. Yes, a relook or reopening some of these cases might also be a
what scams?
But what is surprising is the gentleman representing the Congress party is blatantly trying to defend the party without understanding the basics of this case. I mean, you should understand that you're on national TV and talking that way one-sidedly, that you're not just making a fool of yourself and even lowering the value of the party. When facts are so clear,
he doesn't know anything. Navin Kohli knows that converting debt into equity is no crime. The companies around the world do it privately and publicly. It is no crime.
4 lakh % return on investment. I mean, 4 lakh % return on investment. I mean, can you justify this? It is absolutely a big scam.
In the middle.
And this was started with the noble intentions by 5,000 freedom fighters. And why are you people trying to hijack that? I mean, it is absolutely clear. And in spite of that, you have the cheek to come up on national TV and try to defend the Congress party and the scam what is being done. So, yes, not just this, Arnab, the A to Z scams of what Congress has done in the past also have to be reopened.
Well, our reporters will be at the Rouse Avenue Court where the Congress party begins its arguments, counter-arguments tomorrow. This is going to be, viewers, the trial of the century. It's going to be followed second by second on Republic. Thank you for joining me tonight. Viewers, I want to end by saying a big thank you to so many of you. You would remember, viewers, that a corrupt government in Maharashtra once said that I was buying viewership. Now, you know, viewers, they were proven wrong and they have egg on their face. But you have blessed me with so much love. And in the last 2 weeks, we've got once over 90, once over 80% viewership share in this critical time slot of 8 to 10. And for that, I just wanted to say tonight how deeply grateful I am to all of you for your continued love and support. It keeps me going. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जलजीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा